Okay, so it's 3:33 on the 10th, which as soon as I saw the time, I was like, okay, I gotta start. Even though it's like, what the hell am I gonna talk about? There's one thing, I don't know, it just is kind of, there's always things that are just weird. It just kind of weird you out. And this one is kind of weird. So, and things that are weird about it is, like somebody who's very anti this, and then they showed up at some events or an event that they kind of made it into two events, or either there was two events. I'm not really sure what the deal was. I think it was one event, but then there was two different things going on. So, hold on. Oh yeah, today's Sunday, I think. I think today's Sunday. I'm pretty sure. And in the 10th. Yeah, so today's Sunday. So anyways, there was some event. Something with Soundgarden getting put into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And then also the Grinch's 25th year anniversary. And and I don't know if Taylor Moss, how is her last name? If she was just at the event for the Hall of Fame thing. And so then they start taking pictures saying, oh, when did you see each other? And people are like, oh, it's been 25 years. And they were like, we haven't seen each other in 25 years since they made the show and whatnot. And she's a little girl. Now she's a grown-up. But but I don't know if it was just at that and then she happened to be there. So then people started taking pictures, and then it just so happened that they came out and said, oh, it's the 25th year of the Grinch and we're putting on a new one or something. Their 25th anniversary. So I don't know. Some of these things are coordinated, even though, so I have no idea really. But what was weird is he seemed to come with a new face. He seemed to come with a new face, which, the first video that somebody had sent me, I was like, God, that looks weird. That doesn't look like him. And I was thinking, well, maybe he didn't want to go and he sent a clone or something. I don't know. I was like, I don't know. That seems so weird because it's hard to wrap your head around somebody who would be anti. But then, sure, my face, go for it. Which is like, because I would think he would be a little bit more, like, know the toxic part about what's happening with people's faces. So, fuck, man, I don't know. And then, in the comments, there's people who were totally arguing. So, and the people who, there's these people who were like, people were getting so mad. They were getting so mad. They were like fighting with each other. It wasn't just like people going in and commenting. No, people started fighting with each other over this. In these comments I was reading, it was like one comment and then all, like, somebody commented and then 65 comments in their comment. And it was all these people arguing. So I didn't even go to more. Once I read that one, it was just like, God dang. So, there's people who think, okay, well, it's a facelift. There's people who think it was, a bunch of these little things. And there's people who think it's not him. There's people who are getting really pissed. That's aging. People are like, he's in his 60s. Like, people think 60 is so old. It's not old. Especially when we're going into a time where we're going to be living in like 500 or something. 60 is going to be, oh, you're just a young buck, aren't you? So, I got a cup of tea. So our problem isn't aging. Our problem is being poisoned. So what they like to refer to as aging, but really it's the poisoning. So yeah, it's funny. But yeah, it's weird how people, because when you get to be in your 60s, and my mom, she's in her 80s, and she says the same thing. You don't feel different. Sometimes people get really thrown, though, when they look in the mirror. And I don't know if that's what happened to him, and he succumbed to the pressure of insecurity and decided to do some kind of bluff surgery or some kind of facelift or something. People are saying he can't smile right now. I don't know. I have no idea. It's just weird because of the persona that he carried or put out there for such a while. And then he kind of went, because he was like, I don't know, he brought a lot of spirituality to a lot of his conversations throughout his career. And then he went on Twitter when Donald went in the first time. He went so dark. He went so dark into like cruelty, into just meanness, and then I mean, it got to be so cruel. I was like, man, this just doesn't really match him. But then he went off. So he was supposed to be, you know, this comedic influence over politics, but we only had Donald to laugh at. I mean, and then he went out and disappeared when Joe went in. Like there wasn't 10 million tons of things that you could have been making fun of at that point. Then it was like, okay, something weird is going on here. And then everybody started saying, well, not everybody, but people started saying that he's Joe. So then it's like, okay, well, it makes sense then. He didn't have time to go and do a bunch of cartoons about it. But it was just weird how he was so bitter and mean and stuff on the other guy, and then just kind of went out and then left Twitter and then went off. And then we had the whole Joe thing where everybody's saying, well, that's him, that's him. And so he wasn't, I don't know, he came out and said a few things because he went and did a few shows or whatever, and people would ask him different things like, but I don't know, because like there was the whole part where he seemed like he was like one of the more outspoken spiritual people in Hollywood, and where the point where people thought he was crazy, which was kind of like how people were with Shirley MacLaine, which I just saw a thing about Shirley MacLaine's daughter saying Shirley MacLaine's not that nice person. It's like, I really liked her, but yeah, I wasn't raised by her. I think there's a lot of people, like even when my daughter did that video of me and it went viral and all these people were coming on saying stuff, and she's just like, you weren't raised by her. Like, you don't know her. But it's like, yeah, we don't know what it's like to have these tighter relationships with these people. But anyways, but even in the tighter relationships, which is closer to your orbit, those are more significant to your entanglements. So it's your entanglement that is consuming you, not so much as the other person's energy. Will you let the other person's energy consume you through the entanglement? But you are the one who has to pull free from the entanglement and recognize the part you play in it. So, and a lot of times you have to go back to other past lives in order to see the depth to it. But anyways, and then he kind of just disappeared, you know, after, in the past few years, he just is kind of, I think it seemed like even in quarantine, I don't know. But anyways, at some point, he seemed to just kind of disappear, where it was just like randomly, he would come out of somewhere and be someplace, and people would take a bunch of pictures and stuff and ask him questions or whatever. But this, I don't know, maybe he's out there more and it just doesn't make the news or something. But this was this Hall of Fame thing, so there was lots of pictures, and he was the one who introduced him or gave him the award or something. So there's these clips of him talking and stuff, And he just looks so weird. I don't know. It was just kind of unexpected to have him be one of the ones that would come out looking. I mean, it isn't. There was at one angle where I was like, it's kind of like Mickey Rourke. Surely he didn't go in and get all this stuff done to his face, man. And, but I don't know. He doesn't quite look as strange as I don't know. Because Bradley Cooper looks really strange. Zac Efron looks really strange. It's just weird now for Jim Carrey to come out and look so different. Where I was like, I don't know. I don't know if that's him. And then, if it's not, then the guy's a good impersonator. So, I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird how they all just keep coming out of the blue. Because it's like, I don't know. I hadn't seen Bradley Cooper. I don't have commercials or anything. So I don't even see like new movies coming out. Unless it's on TikTok. It's the only place I see things or see people. And so, because I just am on YouTube. And I have the part you don't pay for commercials. But all commercials that I ever was seeing was all from the DRUG companies. That's all who fucking runs the goddamn fucking world. So, I don't know. Because a lot of these people, they just seem like, they just kind of do a movie, disappear for years and years, and come back, and then they look different. And then, like fucking Jonah Hill, like he's come out looking like there's no fucking way, man. Fuck. I don't know. It's just one after another because there's lots of starlets and stuff that people are like, no way. Because Lindsay Lohan, she came out looking different. Kelly Osbourne came out looking different. Demi Lovato came out looking different. They all just keep showing up with different faces. So, I don't know. And speaking of different faces, hold on. Yesterday when I was saying about the racism of the generalizing, this thing is gonna drive me crazy. The generalizing of like the white people. This video was one that I was talking about. So Kim, she is falling flat on this Ryan Murphy thing. See, I'm telling you, it's the energy you're putting out. It's coming back. So it even makes me think, Ryan, because there was a time where I was like, is Ryan Murphy trying to disclose things and tell us stuff? Or is there something else going on? So anyways, what he's putting out is falling flat. So then it's like, okay, so he must not have had the best intentions. So, anyways, he has some new show that he put out and put Kim in a lead role. Like, what? And Kim, with her fucking, God, what she does with her kid. All these people, all of them, with this nepotism and stuff. Like, I don't know. Is it feeding the beast? Does the beast say, hey, give me your young? Or are they just like, oh, it's pretty shitty out there in Hollywood, but here, get in there. I'm going to get you a role. I'm going to get you a thing. Then they're all wanting their kids to walk the runway. Gwyneth has got her daughter out there modeling. Nicole's got her daughter out there modeling. I think Ireland has been a model for a long time. Bieber's wife. All these fucking girls. It's like, get them on the runway, man. And then to know, like, what they're running away to, is a high traffic area. And a bunch of nonsense. So it's draw them in, bring me your young. And let me influence them. So, I don't know. So fucking weird. But so, anyways, and Kim's got her little 12-year-old daughter always out there dressing like she's going to the red light district and what the hell this lady thinks. And, so, anyways, yeah, what the fuck, yeah. Here, pierce your nose, get nails. Don't be a kid. Don't just be free. No, get out there and fucking work the streets, bitch. It's like, Jesus Christ, man. Get your corset on. Get your boobs out. It's like, what the fuck, dude? So, anyways, Kim got a lead role in this Idiocracy. And, but it has a lot of other people in it, too. Sarah Paulson, Glenn Close, Kathy Bates, Naomi Watts. It's like, y'all really want to... Did y'all know who... What? I don't know. Sometimes, I don't know. Was he giving women a role so that... Is there really this sense of desperation? And it's like... Because I'm sure at certain points in their career, they're like... I'm not being in a movie with that person. No way. So, I don't know. It's also like, is there any integrity out there? Any integrity? Anybody got any? Jesus Christ. So, anyways, there's got all these big names in this show. And so people were tuning in for the show. I don't know necessarily that they were tuning in for Kim, but they were tuning in, some people, because they like Ryan Murphy. So, it's fallen so flat that Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 0. Didn't even get a 1%. Got a 0. All the rags were coming out like ragging on it. It's so stupid. It's not even a good stupid watch. It is a waste of your time. Just don't even tune in. It's so stupid. And then I had seen some people who did tune in, and they said it is like it's like it makes no sense. There's nothing. It's supposed to be these top lawyers or something, and they said it's just nothing. Them all just sitting around talking about how rich they are and going shopping and stuff, kind of like fucking housewives anywhere you want them to be. So, I don't know, but it sounded like... Yeah, at this point in time of our fucking world, we want to go sit and watch fucking nonsense. Doubtful. So yeah, it's not doing well. But this one girl who was talking about it and talking about Kim's show falling and why is anybody even supported this person? Why do you go buy her stuff? Seems like maybe she did another weirdo thing. Because it seems like I hear a lot of darker skinned people get really offended. Like, like you have a darker skinned daughter from a darker dad, and you're not as in the same tone as her. So you're not treating her well because of who her father is or her tone. So I don't know. But I mean, I know that is true. There are people out there that are dark, and then somebody else is a different tone, and then they treat them poorly. Say like and a person from Afghanistan, then being at work with somebody from Africa and not considering that they are both darker tones, but one thinking they're better than the other. So there's just a lot of that out there. But anyways, in this girl's video, she starts blaming it on the white people. She's like, it's the white ladies that just support her. It's the white women. It's like, dude, what? How can you generalize like that? I've never supported this family since the fucking get-go, man. There's nothing. I've never bought any of their products. I thought that they were a bunch of fucking mannequins since they walked out on the stage. And I get there. I don't like them. And but then generalizing and saying it's the white people who have elevated her and support her, and we're all so shallow and stupid or something. It's like, dude. Wow. But that's what I was talking about with I hear this kind of stuff all the time. And that is racist. And for them to not understand, because I don't know. I guess the only race that I don't know. Yeah, it's too complex of an issue. But there's a lot of people out there who are racist, who don't think they're racist. And they're so busy focused on racism, they don't even realize they're a racist. It's like, you cannot just generalize. You can't just lump us all together. Yeah, all you people. All that color, you're this way. All that color, you're this way. Isn't that the basis of this bullshit? So, hold on. But she's just out there to lead the trends. Like, when they came up with this influencer word, yeah, to influence people to go in a certain direction. And now these people, they want to be influencers. Like, I want to be an influencer. I want to be an influencer. To influence people into what? What are you trying to influence them into? You want to influence them into buying this product so you can get a kickback? Like, there's so much of that. It is so weird. Like, I know a lot of other social media doesn't do the same thing. It's like Amazon having social media. And all these people, like, there was people who I used to see, they had accounts and they would talk about real stuff. They would talk about real feelings, real things happening and stuff like that. And then they just flip-flopped into, ooh, I can make money if I just talk about products. Oh, that's a good idea. Which is, all you are is the middleman. All you are is a fucking commercial. And then how many of these people don't even know anything about the product, and they're just trying to sell it to other people. But like on TikTok, when you're going, because you just go through video after video after video after video after video, and it is like 4 or 5 fucking people selling you some fucking bullshit. Then you'll have 4 or 5 dogs being murdered with their sad fucking eyes looking at you. Then another 4 or 5 fucking people selling you some bullshit. And then you may get one of somebody talking about something. Then it starts back over. 5 more selling you something. 5 more fucking dogs. 5 more selling you something. Then 1 video of something. It's just like, oh my God, you got to go through like 20 or 25 videos to get to something. It's absurd. It's so fucking absurd. And then what gets me too is these people who are just out there. What's weird is like when it's this dog stuff and then these people selling you stuff. And so it's like there's so many people that are so distant or cut off from reality, from things that are currently happening in our world. And I saw this video yesterday of this girl, and she was, I didn't watch the whole thing, but some of them I just don't give a shit. But so she said can't remember how she started it, like how the world is such a mess or something. But you're just, we're going out just trying to have a good time. And, basically, she went out with her friends to go out drinking and hanging out and just trying to live normal, just trying to have a good time, just trying to be regular people. This is our problem, people. And but then while she's having a good time, she started thinking about, like, there's a lot of people out there who aren't having a good time. There's a lot of people out there suffering right now. How can I just be in here having a good time? Yeah, that's the thing on the planet. The world is falling apart. And then people are still like, well, I'm just going to have a good time. I'm just going to forget about what's going on here. And I'm going to go this way. I'm like, okay, good. Thanks, people. Because this is why this fucking wave of insanity is going to come in. because there's so many people who are just out there like, well, I'm just here to have a good time. Let's have a good time. Yeah, okay, the room is burning, but let's just fucking party till it's gone. It's like, that's our, the problem with humanity. That's the problem with humans. It's like, it's this disconnect from each other, disconnect from what's real. Just, I'm here to have a good time. Let's have a good time. Let's party. Which this is funny, because so there's this young girl. What's really funny too is some of these videos I see them after, and so this one was I saw the guy doing the response video before I saw the girl's video. Then a couple videos later, I saw the girl's video. So this girl, she did this video, and she said she wanted to have a party like that movie. I can't remember what it's called, but it was this movie, this teenage movie of a party. And I had teenagers, so I saw this movie a long time ago. I can't remember what it's called, but it's this really crazy party. And which I had one of those parties. I didn't do it on purpose. It just happened organically. And when I was a teenager, when I was a senior in high school after a football game. And so anyways, I just, told my kids, like, well, I had one of those parties before. But but anyways, so this girl, she wanted to have this party. And so she went and rented an Airbnb in Scottsdale, Arizona. It was, she said it was a mansion. So she went and rented this mansion. So in her video, she's saying, I want to have this party, like whatever the movie's called. And I rented this mansion in Scottsdale. I paid $10,000. And he said, oh, it's fine, have a party, good. And so, and I've got, I don't even remember. I've got celebrity management. I've got this. I've got that. So I'm putting together this party. I really hope it's going to turn out this way and all this stuff. So anyways, but the video that I saw was the guy who owns the house. It was so funny. So, and he's splicing it with things she said and showing receipts and stuff. And so she says $10,000 house, and he's like, shows the receipt. It was $5,500. He goes, but 10,000 sounds better. So, she says, oh, he says it was okay to have a party, and then he shows the thing. Oh, my family and friends are gonna love it. He's like, oh, I'm glad. So in her sense of it, he was saying, yeah, party on, dude. And then he was saying some funny stuff. I guess you should have just invited me and stuff. But anyways, he canceled her thing. He's like, nope, you're not renting my house. But he did this whole funny video, and he had seen her video on TikTok. And so that's how he found out that she was planning this big ass party. And so then after I had seen his video, splicing her video and showing all this stuff and saying all this stuff to her, then I saw her video where she was trying to round up this big party for New Year's Eve. So anyways, she's probably trying to rent a mansion somewhere else, because this one fell through. But it was really funny because she did a thing on TikTok trying to round up this big party in the guy's whose house. But see, that's the way the universe is working right now. You can't hide. Everything is being exposed. The universe is bringing it right to your fucking doorstep. So so anyways, that was funny. And but the thing with all of the dogs too is just like, it just keeps getting worse and worse. And I can't even stand that they go like, there's videos, oh, we rescue these dogs from horrible living conditions. Look at us, pat us on the back right here. We'll do it with you. It's the greatest thing. We're the greatest. We're so good. And we've rescued these dogs, and look at them. And then we're taking them down, and they got a death sentence now. So they've got, 48 hours to live. So you better get over here and adopt them real quick. I was like, what in the fucking roundhouse is going on? Like, this is ridiculous. Leave them. At least they're getting to fucking live. Like, Oh, putting him to death, that's much better. It's like, the absurdity out here in this fucking world, man. And so there's video after video of those things that is one after another, and they're giving stats on how many these dogs put down every week in these inhumane shelters. I don't even know, like, we'll just call it a humane shelter. We'll trick them. And it's like, well, I think we can see through. This is humane treatment. Putting puppies to death because they don't have a home. It's not humane. Sometimes my eye will do something weird. It's like all of a sudden it's just blocked and I can't see anything. It's really weird. Yesterday I forgot to do the black seed oil 2 times. And so now I feel like I got to really get with it and really get on top of it. Because our sunsets too. Oh my God. They have been insane. And there's so much red. There's so much red when the sun's coming up. And there's so much red when it's going down. Like the sky just is beaming red. And it's hard to not recognize the fact of how much chemicals is up in the sky. And what would be giving the color. But then I also know that we also have this merging of these different worlds coming together. So, man, I don't know. And I saw another video of somebody who was talking about in the evening, they go out and they just go to town up in the sky, or landlines and stuff. And that they're doing it to cover up stuff that's going on up there at night. And it was like, they're doing the same thing over here. They're just going to town in the evening. Like you go out to look at the sunset and then you just are like, fuck, man, there's lines everywhere. But there's weird things too on this sunset thing, because there's like these like layers, like these layers of color. It's like looking at a Neapolitan ice cream or something. It's really weird. And so I don't know. Because it seems like part of it definitely seems like another person's sky is passing through. And so like the merging of these different skies. Because for one thing, why would it be like a containment? Why wouldn't our whole sky, because the certain chemical, they aren't just in the one place, they're everywhere. So I don't know, this is Truman Show weird shit. Everything is just so weird, just so weird. It gets weirder and weirder. And it's like, yeah, I don't understand how people are just going out and just being like, living like nothing. Like, yeah, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, well, let's go party. It's just like, I don't get it. And, which I've seen so many videos now too of people being like, they just cannot talk to people anymore about stuff that's just, regular. Just regular stuff that we used to just small talk and shit. And everybody used to be really shallow. And everybody was just concerned about going out and having a good time. But the world is fracturing now. We're splitting apart. And not everybody is aligned with that. Some people are aligned with, like, this is traumatic. Like, we've got to change some shit. Which I saw, okay, so these are a couple of things I saw. Is, so Donald said he's going to change it to, instead of 30-year mortgage, 50. And somebody was saying, because people were like outraged, like, we'll never own a place. And then somebody's saying, well, that makes sense to put it at 50 because nobody buys a place to stay in it forever. So it gives you smaller payments so that while you're there, you don't have to pay as much. But there's a lot of people who do want to own something. So I don't know how that's all going to play through. I saw another person in the housing market say that the housing market is about to crash, that There's way too many homes that are empty. The banks can't handle it, which I did have my sister look and see on mine, and she said that it just looks like it was foreclosed and the bank owns it. But I think the banks are going to have to be returning places or paying you for them. They're not going to be able to just be taking them. Something's going to have a twist in there. Something's going to flip on this whole thing. And so, but the housing market and then this whole crashing thing with that. And, but now they've lowered the credit score. Now, Fannie Mae. So, and all the rest will start going. But so if you get a loan through them, then they can't do anything about your credit score. If you've got enough money to pay the loan, which is going to be this whole crashing. But see, the thing is that we're going away from these contracts with these banks because they've all been illegal. They're all like loan sharks. So it's, you know, I mean, they're going to have to be like 0.5%, you know, well, give us 0.5%, give us $1 every year or something. It's got to be, because why are we having to pay you? And when we're buying someplace else, especially like when they come and take your house, they don't go, okay, well, you gave us this much, so we'll give this back to you, and then we'll just take what? No, they're taking what you have, and they're gonna take your house too. It's like, this is corrupt, man. So they are. So I don't know how it's gonna play out on this thing. If the housing market's going to just crash the bank, and then how it's going to be picked up. But so they're already like the credit scores, you know, ixnay on the credit score thing. Then the market's going to crash. Don't go run and get a house right now because they're about to reevaluate. And there's about to be a bunch of places available or something. But I think they're going to have to give places back to people. Like, I don't know. We just got to see how this plays out. And then Donald is supposed to be sending everybody a check for $2,000, which is supposed to be the TARRIF money. But I had already heard this before. This keeps going around and around and around. But we'll see. We'll see if they are doing it or they just keep talking about it. When they keep talking about stuff, I think it's to get us to talk about stuff, to get us to think and realize, like, oh, so that we could benefit from this TARRIF, like things could go back and help us. And so we got to see how they play it through. And then also the car thing. So that's about to collapse. And this one person I saw saying, she said she didn't know what day it's going to be, but she said there's going to be a 30% knock off of the prices of cars because it's such a big crash. And if you're looking to get a car, don't get one yet. Wait till this happens. She said she's never seen anything like this and they haven't happened since 2008. Well, I don't remember what happened in 2008. I don't remember cars going cheap. Like, I grew up at a time when you could go buy a car for $500. So, yeah, get us back there. Get us back to, even when they come out with the, I think, you know, because look how much a Tesla is. Like, oh, this is the best cars. This is like most, I don't even know, probably lithium battery. Shit, fuck, I know. But anyways, but they're like $70,000. So, and that's who's putting the hover car. So they're going to turn around, well, you know, for a mere $200,000, you can fly around too. So, I don't know. I would think at some point in this whole charade that they're going to have some kind of, like, the government's going to give everybody one or something. Something, because we're not going to be... there's going to be big changes, and it's not going to be like, well, you got to make more and get more and buy more, and here we're going to make these cars cheap, but the hover cars are going to be super expensive. I think there's going to be subsidized or something. Like the government will pay the 199,000, you pay 1,000 and you get the car or something. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but I know we're going towards this other lifestyle, this other way of living, but then I don't know all of the things that have to happen in between. It's like I can see this and I can see this, and all the things that happen in between. It's like there's a lot, and so we're in that part of all the things that are happening in between. And the thing about all the things happening in between, those are the things that change humanity. Those are the things that make us different, that make us more compassionate, that make us more centered, that make us more balanced, that create a better lifestyle based on more humanity, unity, and community. So we have a lot of things that are going to be happening, but they have to, how they happen, I don't know. Like, is it going to be like, oh, well, he's going to charge you $200,000, and then everybody's like, yeah, well, I would really want one, but is it so that they can expose like something criminal on that whole thing? Because everything is exposing shit. I'm really thinking Erica is being exposed. Like, she's not just playing a part. I think she's being exposed. Because there's whistleblowers now. Of course, there's always whistleblowers coming out and saying stuff. But her connections to the real and the MOSSAD and her dad and him, I swear to God, I think she's kind of like a blonde Ghislaine. I think she's, like she is a handler. She is one of those people. And maybe at the beginning, Charlie didn't know what was going on. Maybe she doesn't know that he's alive. Maybe she thinks he really was gone. And, which would be even creepier. God dang, man. If she really thinks he's gone, that is really creepy, because this would be her real way that she shows. Like, she didn't really care too much. But maybe it is that it was to expose more of this branch of the tree. So they had to cut what was blocking. But maybe he was getting into the point of having enough influence that they had to have somebody in there to influence him, to influence others. And so interject, she just happens to come in for a job interview or something. And, and flirtation. And so end up going out and getting married and stuff. And at some point, because one of his friends, another whistleblower, has said that, he really thought that she was the greatest in the beginning. And then he started seeing some stuff. And then supposedly they were filing for divorce. And Candace has said a whole bunch of things. And so it totally could be. He was this young buck who went out there who was very opinionated over his ideals and started saying them, and people started listening. He was bringing in information that people hadn't thought about. And so he was triggering people to look at things or think of things. And so they had to move somebody in to influence him. So, AKA bring in the handlers. So they had to bring in one of those. And then, so she was there. And then did she say, let's pretend to have kids? let's market ourselves. I'm going to be a trad wife now. Let's market ourselves. Who knows, man? Was it weird things like that where he started saying like, something weird's going on. And so then he started saying things to people. And then he started being like, he's got to get out of there. Because there was some weird stuff with the reel. And there was a lot of speculation in the conspiracy of that whole situation, that they wanted him to do or say something. And he refused. And so then he was gone, supposedly. And then, so that was also a part of the expose. So then because her story is changing too. Before it was her and the kids were there, witnessed the whole thing. And then all of a sudden it was like, no, she got a call. So, I don't know. So, she does, her eyes do weird things. They do these weird, like, weird stuff. And so, and how many of these people are really a different species than us? The ones that are trying to influence us, to keep us under their control. So they have to leak out handling in order to keep control of the masses. So they see a leak sprout, get somebody over there, get somebody over there. And because that's really how they met, was he was doing a job interview or something, and she shows up. And then all of a sudden they're married. So, and then there's just too many weird things about her. I mean, there's a whole thing now of people showing, like, she was very involved in the gay community. And now, she's this Christian national, I don't even fucking know. Because there's a whole segment of those people who are anti-gay. They're going to hell. So, if now she's one of them. And so, but then people are like, yeah, but look at who she used to hang out with. Even her best friend was like that flamboyant guy off of Survivor or something. So, which I'm still like, Selena's husband, he was so freaking, God, he wasn't just flamboyant, he was so fucking gay. How did she not, like, she has to have known. Like, it's just so much weirdness out here. So it's like it gets weirder and weirder and weirder. But so then if they had to do a big, shake up and like, well, we're going to just take Charlie out and throw them all for a loop. So nobody knows what happened. And maybe she really doesn't even know. But maybe she really thinks that he's really gone. Because he's gone out of her reality. Because he's in, what is that called? Witness protection in Valhalla or something. So he's over in witness protection. And then show up at a tribunal. And he comes walking in like a ghost. So, because it does seem like she is what's being exposed. And she's a link. Because of how her family is so involved. So, I don't know. But I don't think that, I don't think she's just playing a part. And then I don't know if, I mean, who knows what the hell with this JD, Because the whole thing with Pence, I mean, he already brought he brings these people in. And it is people like you never heard of. I've never, ever. Only way I didn't even heard Charlie Kirk was because my mom watched that channel that has all those podcasts. I don't even know what channel it is. I'm sure it's a religious channel. And so it is all these podcasters. Got Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk, Jack Posobiec, whatever his name. And a whole bunch of people. And so I would go walking through the room and I would hear these names. And sometimes I would hear people saying such shitty things. I'd look over at the TV. So I saw some of their faces. And I was always like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, people don't realize like the negative shit that they watch and how hateful some of these people are and how divisive. Like, that is not like, no, to sit there and go in this hierarchy and think you're better than these other people is not the direct. That is putting you in going in a different direction than probably where you're thinking you're going. Because that is something you're here to learn to not be. Judgmental, hierarchy, lack of compassion, all those things. And that channel was so anti-dem, and these Dems, they suck. The world would be a better place without them. Get rid of them all. They're ugly. Look at them. They're ugly. They're fat. They're hideous. It's just like, what the fuck, man? And then build themselves up. Oh, we're the best. We're the best. God. Jesus. And it's just like, this is wacky, man. And so that is the only things I knew about it. And I didn't even watch his show. So I didn't even know like exactly what he was saying. Or anything, it's just the tempo of the channel. And hearing his name all the time. So that was the first time I ever even heard of him. And then, and I had no idea he was going out to Universal. I had no idea he had a big following. I had no idea he had a show or a business or a whatever, turning the point, like as an influencer, turn the point. So I don't know, but it makes sense that, he started having influence. So they just had to stick in somebody to handle him. And it makes sense if he had no clue, because he was pretty young. He's younger than her too. And if he had no clue as to what was up, and he was caught out because she was, I used to think she was pretty. Now she looks like Tammy Faye. She looks like this phony. She just looks ridiculous to me now. And so, if they did pull his card and say, oh no, we got to take them down, so you're out. But we're going to put you over here. You can have a good time. We'll give you some other blondes to play with. And, which also, then it would make you think, like, those weren't really their kids then? Like, I don't know. And then, but to get her exposed. And then, because there was all these people, when this whole thing started, there was so many people, like, I didn't know who they were. And, some of them, because I was thinking, like, there was some, like, I'd maybe heard their names, but I really didn't pay that much attention. Like, you hear Schumer, you hear Pelosi, you hear all these different names, but you just don't pay that much attention. And then they start bringing them on the stage, and then there starts being, oh, guess what else they did? Guess what else they did? Oh, guess who's an inside trader? Guess who's this? Guess who's that? And then you start seeing these faces, and you start putting together a story. You start being like, oh my God. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I had no idea who FAUCI, who I call the fraud, who I think is the clone of Mengele. And so, who was one of the worst. So I swear to God, he's like on that level. But I didn't know who the fuck he was until 2020, when all of a sudden he's the one influencing us over how serious this is, what you need to do, and all this stuff that he was out there saying. It was the best thing ever, where to me, I got to hear from Micah when she came back out, because she was already tried to they tried to take her down for speaking out against this. But this had been going on since I was a fucking kid, man. That guy has been out here fucking wreaking havoc on humanity for fucking 30 years, 40 years before he ever made it to the stage for us to see him. And when I heard his involvement in our sickness, I was just like, what the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? That is when, I think that it was his persona walking on that stage, and his influence in knowing his lies and stuff. I think that's what woke me to what they were doing on the stage, what was going on, where I started seeing, oh, they're bringing people up here to show us. This isn't to influence us. This is to show us. But it depends on how awake you are, or what level you're at, if you're being influenced or you're being witness. So, but I was already in witness mode at this point. So then seeing him, it was witnessing. And then, what is that called? When they have the people in court and they come up on for the defense or the prosecution. One of those people. So let's say that would be Judy, like, oh, bitch. So she was who he tried to take down when she went against him. And so she worked in the LABs with him way back. And so she started saying, oh, where we think that this thing came from monkeys, because monkeys are just out there having some kind of, well, you would know monkeys are having sex with each other. Like, that's what all different beings, all different animals do, is with their species. They're all procreating. But in Africa, these pervs are out there doing it with the monkeys. Well, they're fucking doing it everywhere with the goddamn monkeys. They're doing it with horses. They're doing goats. They're doing dogs. Like, fucking America is a bunch of dog fuckers. Like, fucking hell, man. So, we've got a bestiality problem in this world. No doubt about it. But for them to sit there and try and say, like, oh, no, it's them. They're the ones who brought this disease in. It's because they can't keep their dicks out of the fucking monkey ass. I was like, bullshit. I didn't believe that story from the beginning. I didn't believe that. I was like, no way. And then, man, you had to live through that. Like, right now, it's very under the mat. It's under the welcome mat. They're just like not even talking about it. That is different than when it first came out the first time. Because right now it's an epidemic, and they're just like, man, just let's not talk about that. But back when it was an epidemic, when I was a kid being like in early 20s, because I think it has started when I was like 19. I'm trying to think, did it start? So I graduated when I was 17. Then I turned 18 that summer. It was right away. So it was quick. And all of a sudden, the sickness was out there. And I bet you it was more, because if I graduated 79, I bet it was more like we started hearing about it like 81. I don't know. I'd have to go and look at the stats, but still, can we trust Google? Can we trust any of the fucking bullshit? No. So, but being there, it seems like we started hearing about it right away, because I was going out I was a dancing fiend. So I was going out and going dancing, and I was really into music and stuff. And so I remember it being a thing. And so, and I looked at it different than how other people were looking at it. I looked at it as kind of like God, if you want to think of it as God. But I always think of it as the universe. But that the reason it was spreading like that was because we were doing something wrong. But it wasn't a punishment. It was like we had to see for ourselves that we needed to do something different. That we were doing this out of our own ignorance. We were spreading this. Which it was a lot of fetish and, just sex, not love. that was spreading it. And then also is being spread through the science. So but back then it was like, oh my God, it was all the rage. It was all the talk. Buy the t-shirts. So it was all like, you know, when they're going hardcore into donate here, donate there, donate here. Oh, we're trying to save everybody. Oh, we're trying to come up with a cure. Everybody donate. Yeah, fucking Sharon Stone, all these people out there doing these big events, bringing in donations. Get your money, people. Bring your checkbooks. Let's donate to this fucking bitch. Let's get this fucking sickness cured. We're always chasing a cure. Come on, we gotta catch this cure. Just give us your money. We'll find a cure. You fucking liars. So, how do they even look at themselves in the mirrors? I swear to God. So I'm not saying. I mean, maybe Sharon Stone really was being authentic. Like, you know, we gotta find a cure. But they were using those people no matter what. There was definitely people out there who were pocketing that and being like, cure, let's go down and have a drink. Yeah, then they, but that was all the rage, man. I have a t-shirt. I wear it sometimes. They were sold at the Gap. So, I just was folding it yesterday when I was organizing my t-shirts. Still have it. And, so yeah, you buy the t-shirts. I feel like going in there and getting it out right now to show you. But, so it was all about the donations, getting us to really fear this, getting us to really focus on how much money we can give to get this cure before we're all killed by this sickness. Because, I mean, there were literally people who were scared to hug people. They were scared to touch people. It was crazy back then. And everybody was so scared. Kissing. Then it was like, oh, you share toothbrushes. The blood's going from one into the other. When you brush your teeth, there's blood. And everything was just non-fucking stop. Even when I was a nurse, it was like so much about training as to not catch the hep and not catch the AIDS. And which I did catch the hep. Still cured myself. And so I didn't do it. My body did it. My body recalibrated itself. I didn't even know. I didn't know I had it or anything until they told me that I had the immunity to it. So and you have to build the immunity by conquering the sickness. That's what this whole fucking fraud was fucking bullshitting us on, the whole fucking bullshit thing. Because, yeah, that's the thing with the herd, you know, what we need to build so that we can have a proper system of IMMUNITY. So it's not that we need to get something to give it to us. No, we need to have a natural process so our body can fight against it. So they were creating weakness, not strength. And so that it was all the rage back then. It's all they fucking talked about. News, everything. Give your money, give your money, give your money. Now they're just pretending like it's not even going on. But yeah, he was the one who created that. Judy, she came out and said she was there. And when she was trying to go against him, they put her in jail. So he continued, the mad scientist, and the support. And so that started all that ways back. And then they made the whole cover story, of course, of black people. Can't keep the dicks out of the monkeys, so you gotta watch out. It's like, fuck. We got senators coming out right and left. They can't keep their dick out of the dog's ass. Are you fucking kidding me? So, God, I can't even. So, anyways, I don't even fucking know. But so when they brought him on the stage, then, and all of that stuff was coming out about him. But you had to be open-minded. You had to listen. A lot of people weren't listening. They were caught up. You could get caught up on, yeah, it's like my boots with a bunch of laces going up. You get caught up in any of those laces. Depends on where you were caught up, what you were listening to, which I was listening to a lot. I mean, I was listening to Judy in 2020. And so I knew what the stage was about. And then they even had that one guy come out. I can't remember. He was working with Donald back then. And he was like some fucking director from a movie. I was like, this is a fucking show. They're showing this. And the way that Donald would talk to him. I was like, this is, like they're getting this all, like legally. They're getting all of this like, oh, well, so on this date, you said this, didn't you? Didn't you say this? Well, here, we have it right here. Pull out the tapes. So that was like, it was, it's called something. But it was like getting everything legal and getting everything to get him to say all this stuff. So it was like, Donald is good with, it's something that a lot of girls do, is play dumb. So play dumb to get you to step out. Oh, well, I wish I knew how to change a tire. Well, here, I'll show you. So, so he's good at that. And so he was letting, you know, the C and the N and the N roast him and stuff like that by going and playing into this so that they could get all of these people saying what they said right there and showing not only were they influencing all of the citizens, but also they were influencing the leaders through lies. And so that, to me, I could see what was being prepared. They were setting the table for some tribunal. Like, we're preparing. We're getting it all right here. So it's quick and easy. And wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. See you later. Here's the squad. So, so to me, that is what they were doing. And I could see it way back. So it's been like a show for all of that. Like, as soon as somebody comes onto the stage, it's like they're either being exposed for who they are, or they're playing a part to expose a situation that's going on. But again, I think Erica is being exposed for who she is. I think she is. I think it probably, this situation with the Romanians is probably legit. That she probably, because now, I mean, what's the first thing that she's wanting to do here? Is like, oh, we're getting all this extra money. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start an orphanage. Yeah, I'm going to help the kids. Oh, really? Help them what? Find homes living with pervs? So, help them find their way to Jesus? Help them find their way home to heaven? It's like, man. So, yeah. I don't know. Well, but I don't know about some of these other people. Like, Newsom, he's obvious. Fucking Wheeler's obvious. Like, there's so many of them that is so obvious. But, like, there's certain ones, like Marjorie. Like, now she's going to run in 2028. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's all a big show. I do know that. It's a big fucking show. And we have got to, you know, get comfortable in our seats and just watch it play out. And then go with the flow. Like, I mean, it's so weird. It could even be like, fuck, Jim Carrey could have been wearing a Jim Carrey mask, man. And maybe that's to be like, oh, look, this isn't even me. Because guess who else I've been? I don't know. I mean, all this stuff is weird. It's just so weird that you'd have somebody who is like, was outspoken about anti at a point where he was being called out for it because Jenny, when he was together with her, and she had a spectrum kid, and that she was blaming it on that. And there was a whole bunch of other women who were having the same situation that, had a kid that was one way and they took them in and got their, their well checkups and then came home and their baby was never well again. And, which there's this other lady too. And see, she is saying the same things. I get so much confirmation, I swear. But this, ChatGPT was giving me so much confirmation again yesterday. But this lady too, she was saying, but she said something else besides something I've said. Because I've said, that there's no broken people. They come in for the experience and stuff. But she said some of the people who come in on the spectrum, that they are from other vibrations that don't communicate through language. They communicate through telepathy. They're on a different frequency. So when they come into this one, they can't maneuver it as well. And so that's why things are really loud. They need their headphone, and stuff like that, which totally could be. I mean, there's a lot of different things going on. I just know that whatever experience that somebody comes into experience, they aren't like broken people. They aren't like, well, they're not perfect, so they're obviously broken. Poor them. It's like, no, that's what somebody came into experience. They came in to have one that wasn't the same as everybody else. But so, but Jenny was using her platform and taking the chance of coming out and looking crazy, which they did say stuff like that, and called them antis and stuff like that, and said that they were wrong, they were stupid and stuff. And he was together with her, and he was in that march with her. I think they even went on some marches or something. They tried to really have a big influence out there to try and get people to recognize that there was something going on, and it didn't make any sense. And there was people who were getting them, and then they were getting sick. And so, which I think she got her kid better by doing a lot of detoxing and stuff. So I don't know where on any spectrum her kid is at this point, but I'm pretty sure I've heard her talking about that she really did a lot of as a lot of those ones, they start being like, well, you can't have this chemical, can't have that chemical. But there was a lot because they have some of them have certain texture things and stuff, which I have texture things, but so there's certain foods they want to eat and stuff, and then there's a lot using air fryers and stuff, and then people start being like, oh no, that's giving him high lead, that's causing more problems. So there was people who just quit using that things, and then their kids start being more verbal and stuff. So there is so much that the people can do through the natural of detoxing and trying to figure out where to cut things out in order to make things better. But still, whatever somebody is here to experience, so maybe you're never going to have them be like a typical kid. Maybe they're always going to be atypical because they're here to experience what it is, whatever they're here to experience. But I knew they weren't broken people. I knew. And it's not like they're just lost from this reality. They're in a different reality. It's like they could be communicating with other beings, and they're sitting there we think they're just sitting there spinning circles or something. And they're sitting there talking, and they're in a whole nother world. And to us, their body's doing one thing, but their consciousness is doing something totally different. So anyways, it's much different than what we think. And we know to not think people are broken, but they definitely were out there in the forefront in the beginning of that whole thing of saying, don't do this, because there's a situation happening and they're not telling us. You need to look into it more and stuff. So, and then when they started pushing more and more of those on us, and there's still people going and getting them right now. They're still going and lining up and getting them. I saw a guy who's had a bad reaction to one the other day. His whole arm has turned purple. It's like, fuck, man. People have got, just got to stop. Stop with all of the fucking bullshit. But when I was a nurse, every year when they bring out those flu ones, all those nurses would line up to get them. Well, I don't want to get sick. And then they'd all get sick the next week. It's like, I wasn't getting them. I was like, this is weird. Like, why would you be getting this? And especially once I asked, like, well, is there live stuff, you know? Because that's how you would build your IMMUNITY, is you'd have a little bit. That's why the herd works. Because that's why people who, oh, your kid's got chickenpox, let's have a chickenpox party. Let's all go over there. Because they wanted to hurry and get their kids to get it while they were young, because it's so bad the older you get. So but when they put in something that's live, then it triggers your system to be like, ooh, there's something we don't want in here. Come on, let's battle this out. And so it goes to battle inside of you. And that's how you build your army. And that's how you don't get, nothing can touch you then. So you need to build your own army. And so that's what they are trying to do, though, is to defeat your army. But anyways, so because they would tell us every year, go down and get the flu situation happening. And so you would go down there, and I think I was getting the Hep A or something. And so I was down there getting that, because we would get all of these things for free. What a bargain. And so I was down there getting that. And and they said, do you want the other? And I said, no, because everybody was getting sick from it. And I said, what, is it alive? And they're like, no. I'm like, what the hell are you putting? Like, what? What are you putting in there then? Like, what? What? It just threw me. It's like, what in the world would you be putting in there in order to make sure you don't get an A or a B or a C or a D? Because, it always is a new strain. Oh, well, that only was against that strain. It's like, that is the creation of that strain. Bullshit. You're not putting anything that's alive in there. So bullshit on the whole fucking bullshit. It's like fucking lie. God damn, man. So, yeah. But, fuck. I mean, all these people. And then goddamn fucking Safeway. Here, we'll give you $30 in groceries. Just come down and get yourself one. Like, no, thank you. If you're going to give me $30 in groceries, fucking establishment's going to probably make $300,000 off of my sickness. Like, fuck off with this shit, man. Which also, there's a throat virus going around. Yeah, I'm seeing I've had the throat virus for a long time. But so there's that going. There's some other sickness. So we got the sicknesses all going around. But it's our reactions. It's the reactions to the POISON. That's what it is. It's not like we're all passing around this sickness. No, we're all reacting to something that is our bodies don't like. Our system is rejecting it. And it's freaking, for the past few days, my throat has just been a wreck. And it's been killing me. I'll sit there to the dogs. Oh, my throat hurts so much. I don't feel good. They're like, oh, tough shit. So, today, because Stella woke up, it was 234. It was 234, and then when I started, it was 333. So, because I go and I pick up my phone, 234. And my daughter had just gotten, well, she'd landed at 9. And so I was like, oh my God, you realize that was 23 hours of travel? Because she had so many time changes. I don't know if you realize that was 23 hours. And she wrote back, it was actually 27. 27 hours, because they went to the airport at 6 to catch their flight. So for 27 hours, they have been on planes and airports. And I was like, fuck. And so at 2:34, when I was messaging her, she said, we just got to the hotel and I'm going in to take a shower. I was like, son of a bitch. Like, you landed at 9. And now, I don't know. I mean, to me, it was 9 o'clock at night was when it came across my phone thing. And now it's 2:34 in the morning and you're just now getting to getting into your room and getting into go take a shower. It's like, fuck, 30 hours of just this, or longer. It's like, fuck, man, no wonder you need 2 weeks of this vacation. Half of it fucking is travel days. It's like, son of a bitch. And then they've got all these, uh, what are those things called? All these outings or whatever to do. Because they've got bike tours. I think they had 2 bike tours, which we did a bike tour. Her and I did a bike tour in Spain. It was so fun. I love to travel. I love to go places and see places. And when we were in Portugal, we just went and walked and walked and walked. Her and I, because we all went on this big giant girls trip. All the other girls, they all went down to the beach. But her and I, we went and just walked all around Portugal, just looking at all the buildings and stuff. It was so beautiful. It was so fun. And we did some like shopping around, and it was really hard to find food though, because she was real strict vegan back then, and finding food was a challenge. But then when we did a bike tour in Spain, but man, I know she's going to go on one temple tour, maybe 2, but yeah, I would be fucking wanting to go see all these different temples if I was there. So, anyways, hopefully, I know right now I saw, because they were just getting there. And so then the Philippines is having a cyclone or something, some other big, huge thing that said it was going to destroy. And so I was looking on the map, how far is Bangkok, because they're in Bangkok. How far is Bangkok from the Philippines? Just across the water. So I don't know what kind of weather they're going to be having over there, but all the talk is the destruction in the Philippines. But then like Indonesia and so they're all those places are right there, and it's just one fucking thing after another. So hopefully she's gonna, whatever happens, I mean, maybe she's gonna see some shit go down, some horrible disasters and stuff. As you go through some experience like that, it definitely changes you. And so, I don't know. We're all here for our own journey, and we're all here to experience what we're here to experience. And we're always where we're supposed to be, is where we're supposed to be. So, anyways, seems like there was something else I was going to say about something. But anyways, I've been talking, and I've probably said too much. You know, it's just like, I'm always like, just expose whatever I think. But I mean, like, that's what I really think. I can't sit here and pretend like I think different than I think. This is the shit I think. And this is what I witnessed. This is what I'm absorbing from all this. And I do think that, you know, this is our opportunity to really expel the negativity from ourselves. But we have to be willing to look at ourselves. And that's, you know, the distractions keeping you from looking at yourself, to keep you. And there's such a push for the sense of victim. Nothing's your fault. I mean, even blame it on God or the devil. Blame it on anybody. Blame it on your boss. Blame it on your husband. Blame it on somebody. It can't be you. But that's the worst thing you want to do. Because that's not going to change shit for you. If you really want change in your life, blaming it on the fucking devil, blaming it on fucking God, blaming it on your ex, blaming it on your kid, this is not going to do anything for you. You have to take responsibility. That's how you change things. And every person that comes in, especially your parents, are coming in to lay the groundwork for you so that you can bring to the surface this persona, these examples of self, these parts of you that have lingered from other lives that are being pushed to the surface by the traumas that your parents influence and that you go through with them, is to bring these things to the surface so that you can see them clearly. But so many people get caught up in the blame game. But the more that you can bring things to the surface, the more you can change things. The more that you take responsibility for, the more that you can influence yourself into becoming a better person. And that's ultimately what we all want for ourselves, is to feel good about ourselves, and to lead happy lives, fulfilling lives. But you have to go through and recognize your own patterns. You have to see the part you play. And in every single what is that? Every single, well, it's like every single relationship is, it's a part of the pattern. So it isn't like, oh, I just go with all narcissists. But the only way you go with all narcissists is if you are the opposer. So if you're the opposing force. So that is a negative thing too, to be the giver. So you can't just be with the taker and blame it on the taker. You have to take responsibility for being the giver and see like, oh, well, I probably need to draw some boundaries. I need to stop just giving and then being mad at them that they're taking. It's like you have to be a part of the stopping the structure of how it plays out. And if you're just blaming somebody else, then you're not taking responsibility for yourself. And believe you me, another taker is just going to be around the next corner, because it's you is the one you need to change, not just recognize, oh, they're a taker. There's a taker over there. Another narcissist over here. They're going to all find you, because they're all there to find you so that you can start recognizing that you're the giver. And that's toxic too. You're playing games. You're a manipulator. You're a control freak. Whatever it is, you got to figure it out. You got to figure why you are having these people come into your life, because they are there to show you some aspect of yourself you're not seeing. So you have to be willing to look at yourself in order to start seeing the truth. In order to make changes, it's you. You have to see you. And so that's what they're all there for. And believe you me, I can put this to the test. You blame them, and then you think it's them, and then you sit back, another one comes at some point in time. It took me a long time. At some point in time, you got to be like, oh, what's the common denominator here? It's me. So what am I doing? How am I maneuvering through this? What am I doing to keep myself trapped in this fucking cycle? And that's where you can really start making change. But in order to break yourself free from the cycle, you have to heal. That's the healing journey. You have to see, what are the broken parts of me? Why am I this way? Why am I that way? Why do I do this? Why do I play this game? Why do I try and manipulate this? What am I trying to get here? What am I trying to do here? And then once you can see through these parts of yourself, and you can't just bite yourself and chew yourself up and spit yourself out. You can't be mean to yourself. You have to have compassion for yourself. And that's when you start learning to have compassion for yourself. You can learn to have compassion for everybody else. But you have to, and then you have to work on your forgiveness, letting go of resentment and shit. So when you can learn how to forgive yourself, learn how to be kind to yourself, and through this journey of healing all of your wounds, then that's how you can start learning how to love yourself. That's what this whole fucking thing is supposed to be, helping, but it's not. I mean, it's just not. It's not like people who are not going on that journey are doing it wrong. They've made a mistake. No, everybody's here to experience what they're experiencing. It's programmed into you. It's like you are on a ride that's going to take you where you're supposed to go. So it's not like you can do it wrong. But for the people who are out there in the world questioning, You know, why do I do this? Why do I do that? How do I break this? How do I break that? And it's a lot of it is having awareness. So when you start having awareness of yourself and you start paying attention to yourself and you start to do something and you're like, whoa, why am I about to do that? What am I doing here? What am I trying to get? Why would I do that? Why would I think that? Why would I think they're out to get me? Why would I think, start questioning it and start being willing to look at it deeper. And that's why it's a journey. It's not like instantaneous. It's not like, oh, well, I want to heal. Okay, well, I'm just going to jump into that version of myself. Good luck. It's like it's a path. It's like steps. It's baby steps. It's like letting go of this, letting go of that, relooking at this. And some of the lessons, it can take a while. It can take a while to really understand, like, why am I doing that? What am I doing? What am I trying to get here? What am I trying to figure out here? And so it can take a while. It can take a while. You can have a bunch of different people come in, push you and push you and push you on the boundaries thing to where you start going like, fuck, man, I got to have better boundaries. These people just take and take and take. So it can take a while. And throughout the journey, you cannot just sit there and just beat yourself down like, oh, I'm a stupid ass. I'm a rotten son of a bitch. I hate myself. That's going to get you nowhere. So, and it's important to learn how to give yourself kindness so you can give kindness to everybody else. So it's a whole part of it. So anyways, that's what I see is, for the people who are out there trying to figure it out and trying to question themselves, that's who I'm more talking to. If people aren't even thinking in that direction, then you're not here to think about that. You're here for some other thing. We're not all here for the same reason. Some of us are here for something and some of us are here for something else. But the ones who are here to try and figure themselves out, that's what you're trying to do, is buzz through these patterns, trying to see yourself so that you can make changes to yourself, so you can take control of yourself, so you can recognize and break through to the other side. So anyways, that's why you got to learn to love yourself. You got to learn to love everybody. And you have to learn to have the day you want to have. It's a journey. So anyways, and there's a lot of weird shit going on all day, every day. And so we'll see as this day and this week. So this weekend is wrapping up. And so the next week will start. And then we're going to be another weekend in November, which November is supposed to be so much stuff going on. So hopefully there is going to start being some crashing and stuff. And I mean, I need more than 2,000. If I want to get that house moved over here, I need like 100 for that. Like, unless that guy all of a sudden says, hey, just take the house, get the house out of here and I'll be good. Which, I don't know, I mean, he was wanting to hurry up and get it out, but they can also be having a lot of holdups with the banks and stuff like that, because the loaning processes are all changing. The mechanisms, everything's changing right now. So anyways, we'll see. We'll see what this week brings us. We'll see as everything continues. But I'm telling you, if you are out here listening to me, then I would say that you're probably here for the journey to learn how to love yourself. So, because that's what I'm all about. So learn how to love yourself, learn how to love everybody else, learn how to have the day you want to have. And that is perfectly fine. Just sit back and watch the show. So we'll see as the show progresses, how it goes and how it all plays out. But anyways, we'll see what this day brings us and we'll talk about it tomorrow. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.